Hello, I'm Eric Jimenez, and in week 2 we did the curriculum, and the things that I really went over is developing appropriate practices. And to me, this is one of the most important things, because if you're not teaching things that are appropriate to them, then it's no point in teaching them. So I have worked with 4-year-olds for like most of my short career, and this year I had a lot of 3-year-olds, and it was completely different for me. So I started in the beginning of the year. I was trying to teach things that are usually for 4-year-olds, and it wasn't working. So I had to reset, reflect, and try to look at the kids' interests and what developing appropriate things they could do. So it was a whole switched on experience for me. And I realized in curriculum that you kind of have to go through their interests and their needs, because for a long time I kind of set for the week and then plan for the week, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna work out. But this was a whole new experience, and I learned a lot. One of the things people always ask is, how do you know where the child is? And it's just by trial and error. You give children the easy things first. You see where they at. You give them beads, and they could insert them into a pipe cleaner. Then you advance, and you give them into to lay something else. Curriculum, I really take it personally. I like the Reggio Emilia style, so I kind of go through the nature flow and the natural environment kind of thing. And so this is where people have different opinions. To me, like in curriculum, I think kids are developing appropriate to do some things that people consider dangerous, but I just consider it adventurous, in other words. We have so many different materials that I feel they're just not, it's not appropriate for kids, or systems that we do. They're too academic, and I feel it's not appropriate for them. The other thing I wrote about is about the social and emotional context in curriculum. So I'm a big believer in Maslow, his hierarchy levels. So I'm wondering, like, if you can't focus in eating and shelter, then there's no way you could focus on the emotional and academic part of life. So to me, I like we're doing relationships this week, but like relationships, something that I work in with the social emotional kind of part. I like building a relationship with the child first. That to me is more important. Once I get that, everything comes off from the relationship. So there's a quote that I always say is like, they tell me how was work, and I'm like, oh, some days are better than others, right? When I have a bad day. But Raminsky and Kaiser, they had something in the book that said, it may not be too far-fetched to say that consistently offering high-quality care may help to change children's brains to make children more resilient. So to me, that just gives me that little extra hope, that I'm doing the right thing. And the social emotional part and the developmentally appropriate practices, they help the brain a lot, because when you're social emotional in the right spot, it's easier to learn, it's easier to make relationships, it's easier to have fun. And when you're doing activities, or you focus curriculum and age appropriate, or development appropriate, then children learn at their level, and you could scaffold better, and you could introduce new things little by little. And to conclude, I always say that as much as I like Reggio Emilia, I don't like to be characterized as a Reggio Emilia guy, because I don't want to be labeled as something. I take stuff from Montessori, I take stuff from high school, I take stuff from Head Start, Reggio Emilia, and just myself as my cultural effect that I lived on. So curriculum is not what we teach, in my point of view, but what we can teach, what we can provide, and give opportunities to kids. At the end of the day, children are not gonna remember me, but they might remember some habits and some stuff that were important to them in preschool. So curriculum to me is just the basic, family-oriented, community-oriented ideas that they could take into later years. Thank you.